So, hello all, welcome back to my channel. Hope you all are doing well. So, today we are going to discuss one of the most important concepts in Power BI, which is your direct mode and import mode. So, before that, please subscribe to my channel to get latest technological updates. And we will cover with the practical implementation, and I hope that would be much more clearer. So, let's get started. So Power BI data connectivity modes, import mode and direct query mode. So these modes come into picture when we have to fetch the data into Power BI using SQL Server database. So let's see what's the difference between the two. In import mode, data is imported and stored in Power BI. Visuals update only after manual or scheduled refresh. Best for scenarios where data changes infrequently. Okay. So in import mode, what happens is whenever any change happens in your source database or SQL server, so in your visuals, that data is not reflected automatically. You need to perform manual refresh or schedule refresh. Now, manual refresh is available in your Power BI desktop, whereas for schedule refresh, you need to publish a report into the Power BI service and you need to configure the settings there through schedule refresh. Okay, it could be daily, weekly, or monthly depending upon your business requirements. Okay. In direct query mode, queries the data directly from the source. Visuals reflect the latest data automatically, best for real-time dashboards or frequently changing data. In direct query mode, the updated data is automatically reflected in the visuals. You don't need to perform any kind of manual or scheduled refresh. So that is the key difference between direct query and import query. Okay. So these are the key differences. Here you can see feature-wise segregation of both the modes. For data storage import mode, data is stored locally in Power BI. Direct query mode, no data is stored locally, live queries run. Visual update timing updates only after manual or scheduled refresh. Direct query mode updates automatically when interacting. Refresh purpose fetches the entire data set again. In case of import mode, direct query mode clears the cache and reruns the queries. Performance wise, faster for reports with large data sets. Import mode, direct query mode, slower due to live querying, especially for large data sets. Best use case could be static or periodic reports with large data. Direct query mode, real time dashboards where data changes frequently. So these are the key differences, and we will. This would be much more clearer with the practical implementation. I hope that is clear. And the conclusion is choose the mode based on your needs. Use import mode for better performance and periodic updates, and use direct query mode for real time data requirements. Okay, so let's jump to the practical implementation. Here's my table in the database SQL Server, which I'm going to use for demonstration purpose. And this is the sales table where we have store location, product, quantity sold, unit price, and total sales. Okay, so we are going to fetch this data into Power BI using those two modes. Let's quickly jump here. You will click on get data, although there are other ways to get the data. So I'll click on SQL Server, and we have to provide our database server name and the database. In my case, my server name I already had copied. I just click on it. In my case, it is master database. I'll click on OK. And here you can see we have two data connectivity modes, import and direct query. Advanced options are also there, where through the help of query writing, you can also perform the data operations. So right now, a list of tables will appear on your left hand side. So in my case, it is sales table. I have to check whether my data is expected as per the source. So yeah, it is. I'll click on directly load, and it will load the data into our Power BI. Okay. Meanwhile, it is loading the data. So I will again go back to the presentation and just revisit these points because it will help you to understand the practical demonstration. Yeah. So that would be much more helpful on your end as well. Yeah. So, and one thing, like one suggestion from my end is like whenever you study any concept, just go and practice there with the variety of data sets available so that it would be much more easier for you to understand the thread line. What is the thread line? What is the connecting dots? So let me check. Is it loading? Data is getting loaded. Yeah. So meanwhile it is getting loaded, let me tell you the purpose. So here what I will do is right now we have 5 rows. Later on what I'll do, I'll insert one more new record and I will see how this updated data is being reflected in my visuals in case of both import and direct query, so that we will see. And in that way you will understand how it is being, the data is being affected. So it's just a simple example. When you work with large data sets, so first you need to understand at a smaller level, like what is the concept, how those modes actually work. So meanwhile the data is loaded, I will just go back to my presentation again, and you can just check out these points as well. Yeah, so that would be much more helpful. And whatever the live query you will perform in direct query mode, or the change that you will do in your source database, that would automatically being reflected in your direct query mode, right? So hope that the concept is clear, and you can just go through these points and try to keep that concept in mind. Yeah, meanwhile my data is getting loaded, and with that you can utilize any visuals as per your requirement. So here we can take any visual and you can just see the effects. One of the scenarios could be you can create a calculated column or a measure, right, and see how the data changes affect in both the modes. So my data is getting loaded. Once the data is loaded, then we will again import the same table through direct query mode. And yeah, so let it get loaded meanwhile. So so do go and check a lot of data sets and practice. Practice makes a man perfect. Yeah, so that would be much more helpful on your end as well. Yeah, so I'll keeping my pointer over to the presentation, let the data get loaded meanwhile. So in case of refresh in import mode, it, suppose you have millions or trillions of records, right? It is again going to fetch the entire data set again. In direct query mode, just reruns the queries. That's it. Clears the cache and reruns the queries. That's it. So meanwhile, the data is getting loaded. Let's wait for it. Yeah. So it's loading the data to the model. Meanwhile, please go through the points again. I hope that will definitely help you to understand the concept. Yeah. Okay. And after watching this video, I hope no confusion is left behind. And one thing also, like in direct query mode, you are not able to see your data in the Power BI. Only through the visuals you are going to understand its effect. Okay. That's the main concept that I just want to told. Okay. Yeah. So if you see, just let me see if the data is loaded. Okay, you see 5 rows loaded because we have 5 records in the table, so 5 rows loaded. It will appear on your right hand side in the data tab, and it will show the name, storage mode, and the refresh date. But in case of direct query, you won't be able to see the refreshed details because no refresh is required, right? That is the main thing here. So yeah, and I hope you are aware with the concept of transform data. If not, do go watch and back those tutorials where we have done some stuffs pertaining to that. Yeah, that would be much more helpful. Yeah, that would be much more helpful. Okay, I guess the data is loaded. Okay, yeah, you see. Now again, I go back to get data and try to fetch the same table through direct query mode. Okay, yeah. So again, same thing, database server name, database name, and a list of tables will appear on your left hand side. Just a second. Let me provide the server name here. You see, now my option will change to direct query here. Again, database is my master. Just a second. I'll be having direct query right now. Click on OK. Same thing will occur. Click on OK. And yeah, let's see how it works. Excited to see the magic, right? So stay till tuned at the end of the video. And after watching this video, your concept will be much more clearer. And you will be able to explain your concept in your interviews or in your technical knowledge. So that's why the purpose of this channel is to strengthen the technological roots first. Roots are strengthened, then no need to worry about the other scenarios. If you are clear, if you are gripping the basic concept, then definitely you will be able to crack your interviews, and these videos will be definitely very much helpful for you. So do go back and check other Power BI videos, and I definitely assure that you'll be able to answer the questions. Yeah, for your interview perspective, whatever questions will be asked. So right now I'm going to utilize sales table. Again, there is no need to perform any cleaning, so I'll directly load the data, and it will load the data for me in my Power BI. Let's give it some time, and I'll again go back to my presentation. And yeah, and one thing, guys, like so it completely depends on your scenario, what mode you want to use. So just go back to this points, and I hope that would be much more clearer. Yeah, so that would be much more helpful. So it's loading the data. Yeah, so here you can see the refresh option available in your beside transform data. So that is called as manual refresh. So once we will do the insertion of data, then we are going to perform that manual refresh, right? So here you can see that it's trying to load the data. Sales under, you'll see that there is a two times written. Yeah. So let's see through the help of visuals how the things will happen. Yeah. Okay. So meanwhile, I'll just go back to my database, and okay, in the visuals, the column that I'm going to consider is your product column and your total sales column. So in product, I'll going to consider the tablet. You can also practice and consider any product. So here I'll consider the product tablet and to total sales. So right now, if you see, okay, just 1 second. If I want to show you what is the sum of total sales in for product tablet, so let me just quickly execute this query. So at first, when there is no insertion of data happen, then right now it should show 8,000 in your visuals, right? 8,000. After updating the data, the total tablet sales here would be changing, correct? So let me check if my data is loaded. Okay, it's trying to load the data. And yeah, let's see how it goes. Okay, so here you can see again the points, and I hope this point would be definitely helpful for you to understand the concepts. Yeah, so here we have the best use case, performance, refresh purpose, visual update timing, and the data storage. Yeah, so let me check and if my data is loaded. Okay, yeah, let's try to create the connection in model. Okay, so for my case, the data, both the data is loaded in my Power BI. Okay, and here what we are going to see is direct query mode details in your right hand side in your data tab. Yeah, and but it won't show the refresh details for your dynamic query modes because it is not required at all. Because as per the concept, we don't need to have the refresh activity for your direct query mode. Okay, as of now. So we will see now. We are going to see with the help. So you see, okay, you'll see that first one is import mode and the second one is direct query. Let me take the help of table here. You are free to perform your activity here, and so please remember first table is for our import mode. I'm going to select product column and total sales. Yeah, so we are going to select that column and see what is our total right now coming, just in case of tablet. Okay, remember that product, don't get confused. So I'm going to select product column and total sales. Yeah, so just let me select it and total sales. So you can see that my two columns are selected, and again let me take the table again. Meanwhile the data is getting loaded for import mode. Okay, so right now the data would be same for you see it coming as tablet 8000. So for you to be clearly visualized, let me increase the font size here for format by clicking on formatting options. Right now you can see for tablet it is showing 8000. Yeah, just a second, let me increase the font size here. Yeah, so I hope that is clear. No need to increase the column headers. Okay, so you see for tablet it is 8000. Let me, this is for the import mode. Let me take another table for direct query, because that is most important. Then only will be able to understand the difference between the two. Just a second. Okay, so let me now, I'll choose the second one, where for direct query mode same thing, I'll go product column and I'll just select the total sales. Yeah, let me just select that, and you'll see the same details right now, because right now I haven't performed any updation activity. Okay, once I'll save this report, I'm going to perform that activity here, and then you'll be able to see the difference between the two. Yeah, just a second. Here you go. Okay, I think I need to remove this because this is the extra call table has come up. Okay, so let me just quickly select that, and I hope that would be visible to you people. So my table is loading here. I'll just try to shift this table. So in both the case, the information is same, because there is no further activity performed. Okay, and yeah, sum of total, you can see the product column and sum of total sales. So main thing you need to understand for the tablet perspective, 8000. So total 19,000 will show as of now. Yeah, but just a second, still loading the data. Yeah, so meanwhile it's loading the data. Okay, phone is 4000, laptop 7000. Same data for direct query mode. Just a second, I think. Okay, I can also provide it in the form of table. Okay, you see, right? Let me increase the font size. Uh, so go ahead and enjoy with another visuals. You are free to do so. Let me increase the font size of your values column, because that is the much difference most important. Okay, so just I think that is sufficient. Now what I'm going to do, you see 4000, 4000. First is import, second is direct. Okay, now let me save this file. I'll just same is with as import and direct. You'll see PBI, what is the extension? Import and direct one. So I'm going to save this file and my file will be saved here. Let me do one thing. Now I'm going to insert one more new record with the tablet. Yeah, what I've told you. Okay. So let me just execute my query and you'll see one record is inserted. Select star from sales. Okay. You see Switzerland tablet. Now if I'm trying to show you the sum, okay, some activity if I'll show you. So if you'll execute that, you'll see it's 16,000. Now when I'll open my Power BI report, I'm going to close this. Now the main magic lies here. So stay till tuned. Okay. So let me open my report back again. I'll open that dem- import and direct query. Just a second. Import and direct one. Okay, let me browse it. So I'm going to open that report. See, this is the one. So please concentrate here. It is very important. So what will happen? In case of direct query mode, my total will show 16,000. Okay. Because we do not need to refresh the data in terms of your direct query mode, but in import mode what is going to happen, we need to manually refresh the data and have to fetch the data through that mode. So that is the most important concept that I'm trying to make you understand. Also, in case of direct mode, you are not able to see your data right live now in your Power BI. Only with the help of visuals you can analyze what data is coming. Is that data coming as per the expected destination? Yeah, after updating the record, right? Meanwhile, it's opening. Let me just quickly show you the table again. So right now it is coming 16,000 only for tablet. So let me just show you the data for tablet only so that you cannot get confused where your quantity sold is equal, no, where product just a second, where product is equal to tablet, because I'm focused on my product tablet. So from this single table you can create so many scenarios as per the expectation. You'll see 5 total sales. If you sum up, it will come as 16,000, and I have only 3 products as tablet. So what Power BI do is that it just aggregates it, right, and just provide you the totals. Okay, that is the most important concept here. So I hope you will be able to understand that. So what if I'll go back to the table, you'll see that it has just sum up. Power BI also has that feature. It has just sum up and showing you the totals. Okay, so that is the main concept here. For tablet, it has segregated in your visuals. Similarly, it has done for other products. Yeah, let it get loaded and then I'll show you the difference. Okay, yeah, yeah. So that is the main difference here. Again, I am going back to my PPT. So make you people understand data. This is the main thing. And after watching this video, you'll be able to understand very much clearly how the difference is and how it in the practical implementation. Okay, you see now the visuals will load it. And I hope you remember right now my pointer is on the second table. And if you see in the second table, my data should get refreshed. But in my first table, it will not happen because it is import mode. I need to refresh manually the data into the Power BI report, right? So let's give it some time and hope the scenario would be much more clearer. You'll see it's coming 8,000. It's an import mode and I haven't done any kind of refresh activity. This is the, now you'll see for tablet it is 16,000. Okay, so this is the magic here. This is the direct query mode. For tablet it is 16,000. For import mode, tablet is showing 8,000. I now need to manually refresh the data, and then only in import mode, which is your first table for tablet, it's going to show 16,000. So I hope guys the scenario is clear, and please do share among your friends and people so that they can also benefit the concept, and obviously knowledge is important, right? So this is the main difference I'm trying to show you, uh, that in case of direct mode I do not need to perform any manual refresh, but in case of import mode I have to perform manually refresh, so my data should be available for updation one, right? That is the main concept here. So you can utilize this table. I mean to say, you can just go ahead and utilize any table, create scenarios. See, from one single table, I could have multiple scenarios. Right now, I have considered total sales column. I can also consider the unit price column as well, right? In case like if I want to. If I want, I can also find the quantity sold. So main purpose is the updation of data. That's what it is much more important, right? So right now it's refreshing my data. Let it get refreshed, and then we'll see how it import mode and direct mode will now be equally having the same information because I'm performing a manual refresh. And for scheduled refresh, if you are able to publish your report into your Power BI service, you can configure the settings there and schedule your refresh daily, monthly, or weekly as per the requirement, even at any time that your requirement is. So, hope the scenario is clear and you can go ahead practice with the large data sets because practice makes a man perfect. And knowledge greenery channel is here to make your technical knowledge evergreen. So it would be only be possible if you guys subscribe to this channel, and yeah, and strengthen your technological roots. Yeah. So right now refresh activity is done. So if you'll see, the first one is your import one. In a quite a while, it should show tablet as 16,000 as per the second table. And yeah, for laptop on phone, we haven't done any changes in our source database. We have just inserted one record for tablet. That's why the change would show only for your tablet. You see, it has come as 16,000. It did not got changed. So I hope guys scenario is clear. Hope thank you all. Bye bye. Take care. Hope you all understand this concept. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.